Gizzo. Already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? Now, listen, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan, and you do know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in, so let's get right into it. Now, listen, you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency. Time, energy, the highest forms of currency, my G. I know they got y'all here chasing the bag, chasing that money, getting to that guap, stacking that paper, getting that cheese, that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex. That time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all time. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that been tapped into the channel since day one. You already know, constant elevation. We only going to the top, and we growing this thing organically. Yeah. No extras, no preservatives, no baking soda, no quinine. Organic information, organic content. We growing this thing organically. So big salute to everybody that been tapped in since day one. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new investors, all my new subscribers, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yeah. Grown Man Business TV. You know what I'm saying? I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. And big salute to y'all for making y'all way. See, we all just need something real. It's good to have that, you know, that made up microwave content. But after we get some of that McDonald's type of content, then we gotta find something real, a home cooked meal. So big salute to y'all for making y'all way to the channel. You already know how we do over here. We crossing state lines at all times. Headed up and down the East Coast right now. Easy money, easy bag. We doing what we do over here. And I thought that it was only right and it was fitting, right, to have this conversation while I was in the truck. As you can see, I'm in the truck. I'm getting to my money. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm paying the cost to be the boss. And you see the title, right? You see the thumbnail. The thumbnail is always going to be, you know what I'm saying, a Pyrex jar. When I'm on the road, you're going to see a Pyrex jar full of that raw uncut. You know what I mean? Um, that's just letting you know we getting money. Anytime you see that Pyrex jar, that lets you know we over the road. We crossing state lines at all times. But the title, Dame Dash owes New York City millions of dollars. Dame Dash owes New York City millions and millions of dollars, right? The worker versus the boss mentality, the employee versus the boss mentality, right? And we're going to talk about this. I thought it was very prevalent that I saw and got these clips and got these DMs as I'm driving over the road, as I'm working, if you want to call it a worker bee, you understand, make amazing money. You know what I'm saying? Got all my insurance, got everything lined up, right? And then you'll have a conversation, or you'll rub shoulders with somebody who's a so-called boss, an entrepreneur, and they'll make you feel like you doing something wrong because you a worker bee. They'll try to, you know, they'll try to discredit what you're doing. They'll try to step on what you bring to the table because you're not a so-called boss, right? And we all remember that Breakfast Club interview, right? We all remember that Breakfast Club interview with Dame Dash, DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God playing butt tag that morning, right? But this particular interview with Dame Dash and Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy, it got pretty heated because Dame Dash was on the Breakfast Club asking these guys on the Breakfast Club, why are they working for this particular radio station? Why haven't they branched out and made their own radio station? You understand? Why hadn't they become bosses? Right? Why hadn't they stepped out, invested in themselves, took their own money, and became bosses in this world? And I mean, this is one of the most classic. This is probably the second classic DJ Envy Charlemagne got Breakfast Club interview, other than the interview they did with Birdman. And we all saw it, right? And for the most part, people agreed with Dame Dash. I was one of the people that agreed with him somewhat, but I had some pushback when it come to that, because I understand the ins and the outs when it come to being a boss. I understand the ins and the outs of this so-called illusion that they sell to the American people, that they sell to y'all about being the boss. So we're gonna talk about this, man, and we're gonna really break this down. And you know, if you remember in this interview, you had Dame Dash disrespecting DJ Envy, telling him that his kid wasn't going to respect him, his son don't respect him because you work for somebody else, and you know he does it for his last name and he does it for his family. And I mean, these were viral moments that Dame Dash had on the Breakfast Club, viral moments. And now you fast forward to present day, and Dame Dash, the boss, the entrepreneur, the legend, owes taxes to the state of New York City, to the IRS. He owes about $8 million. You know what I'm saying? To the IRS. He owes some money to child support. He owes some money. Some people suing him. I want to say this before we get into this conversation. I'm not going to talk down on Dame Dash for owing child support or for owing taxes or X, Y, and Z, because that can happen to anybody, any of these celebrities, any American citizen. If you don't pay the real boss, if you don't make sure you taking a part of your money and sending it to the real boss, everybody falls under this boss right here, then you could be in the same position. And before I go any further about this, I want to say I gotta, I gotta give a big salute to DJ Envy, because Dame Dash really disrespected DJ Envy in that particular interview. I remember it, man. They was arguing. It looked like they was about to fight. It got that heated in the interview. And then when I heard DJ Envy speaking about Dame Dash earlier today, you know, he didn't really go in on Dame Dash like I thought he was going to go in on him. He didn't disrespect. I mean, this would have been a perfect time for DJ Envy to say, "I told you so. I'm gonna rub it in your face and make you smell that." Like, you know what I'm saying? The way you was talking, the way you was trying to stand on business. Now look at you. And he didn't do that. So, I always shoot shots at DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God, because they deserve to be shot at. They deserve to have shots thrown at them every day for the things that they do and the things that they say on the Breakfast Club. Nasty work, right? But every now and then, you know what I'm saying? They say something that makes sense, or they do something that I can appreciate. And I thought that was very stand up and grown man business, for DJ Envy not to take this opportunity to step on Dame Dash's neck for what he did to him, for the embarrassment. Now let's talk about this, man. And like I said, I'm not going to really make fun or make light of what Dame Dash owes, but let's talk about this. You got a Dame Dash, you got an entrepreneur, you got a boss, right? Somehow, some way down the line, he's now in debt almost $10 million. How does this happen? How does this happen? Well, let's really break this down. It's because the illusion that's being sold to y'all. One thing for sure, two things for certain, man. I'm gonna let a few more y'all get in here. Before we really go into this, big salute to the chat. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Run them likes up. We gonna really break this down. Yeah. We cross the state lines at all times, man. In the truck, you already know I'm strapped in. Big salute to the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all can hear me very clearly. I mean, we're gonna really break this down, because America, man, is like a magic trick. America is, that guy pulling the rabbit out the hat. That's what America is, man. And it's so many different spells and so many different tricks and so many different illusions being cast out over y'all and over us every day. Every day. Hit that like button, man. Tap your screen twice, man. It don't cost nothing, man. Hit the like button. It don't cost nothing. Salute to the chat. Yeah. We cross the state lines, man. We gonna talk about this. This is something that is really prevalent amongst American society right now. When we talk about bosses and when we talk about workers, nobody wants to be the Indian. Everybody wants to be the chief. Nobody wants to be the worker bee. Everybody wants to be the king or the queen bee. Everybody wants to be the boss. But what happens when everybody's the boss and there are no workers? Who's gonna come on, man? We got to talk about this. It's an illusion. It's a magic trick that America is bosses. Oh, you're a boss. Oh, go go be a boss. Go be an entrepreneur. Don't work for anybody. Work for yourself. Don't be a boss. I mean, don't be a worker, man. You got to be a boss. You got to be an entrepreneur. And if you are a worker, then you should be ashamed of yourself if you work for somebody. If you're working for somebody, then you're pushing. Come on, man. It's an illusion. Because you got to understand this, right? When you look at Dame Dash, he's one of the bosses that made it all the way to the top. He's one of the, it's less than 1% of people that become as rich as Dame Dash was at one point. And a lot of these other people, they get really rich and somehow, some way, they fall off at the end. Why is that? Because being a boss in America is an illusion. In America, you don't own anything. You don't own anything. You don't own anything. And when it comes to being a boss, right? The higher ups and the elites. Hold on. The higher ups and the elites, right? They know it's enticing for y'all to want to be a boss. Be a boss, right? They understand that a very small percentage of y'all is going to make some good money. Even less, even less of y'all are going to make $1 million. They know only a handful of y'all, maybe 5 or 6 of y'all, are gonna turn into Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, where you make billions of dollars, Jay-Z, where you make billions of dollars. You understand? They understand that for the majority of y'all, you're not going to have enough patience, enough discipline, enough motivation, enough inspiration, enough opportunities that you're not going to be able to push a business to Fortune 500 status. They know that. They understand that. So what you gotta be able to pinpoint and lock in on is, if you are a boss, right? And you are making your own money and you're doing your own thing in X, Y, and Z. When you get that money, who do you have to pay? Who do you have to pay? It's somebody that you gotta pay, regardless if you a boss or if you're a worker. And I want somebody to put that in the chat. Who do you have to pay? Regardless if you are a boss or you are a worker. Throw that in the chat, man. Who you got to pay? We should know. We all should know this now. Don't let grown man Bennett have to tell you. Let's talk about this. You got to pay Uncle Sam. You got to pay the IRS. So you got to understand something. Everybody wants to be the chief. Everybody wants to be the boss. But one thing Dame Dash didn't tell us and tell y'all on the Breakfast Club that day is that it's how stressful it is to be a boss. It's how much work it takes to be the boss. You know how you have to pay. When you're the boss, you got to pay your own taxes. You know that, right? See, it's so crazy to me that Dame Dash owes $8 million in taxes to the IRS, but was doing so much talking about being a boss and being an entrepreneur. Well, Dame Dash, the first thing you were supposed to do is tell the people you could never be a boss in America, especially when you got to pay the government and pay Uncle Sam before you pay yourself. So really, Uncle Sam is the boss. See, you see how that works? That's the part that they like to leave out. When you are a boss, right? You have to now at the end of the year pay your own taxes to Uncle Sam, to your boss. So I don't care if you make $1 million. I don't care if you make $1 billion. Jeff Bezos has to pay Uncle Sam. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world or in America, has to pay Uncle Sam. So who is really the boss? It's nasty work. And they'll have guys in mind you, you'll have people, regular people. We could have a conversation and they'll say, oh, well, I own a business and you can go online and you can do you I mean respectfully, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to your business and all of that. But you are working for the government. You're working for Uncle Sam. That's who you're working for. That's the boss. That's why I always talk about the higher ups and the elites. The illusion that you are a boss is nasty work. It's nasty work. Now let's break this thing down, because like I said, when you are a boss, right? You now have to pay your own taxes. And it's so weird to me that all of these bosses end up owing money to the IRS. Now let's talk about when you work for a corporation. Let's talk about when you are a worker, you are an employee at a major corporation. It's a reason why y'all don't really have too much problems with that, because they take the taxes out our checks before we get them. So we done already paid Uncle Sam before we get the money. They done already paid Uncle Sam. To a lot of people, that is a privilege, homie. You gotta know this, right? And again, the illusion that the higher ups and the elites paint for y'all, right? The illusion says you are the boss. The illusion says you're in control of your time. You're in control of your destiny. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, homie. Yeah. You know, I've been blessed to be able to see both sides of the spectrum when it comes to this, right? You see, I'm crossing state lines at all times. I've always worked for corporations. I've always got income taxes back at the end of the year, right? But when you rub shoulders with an entrepreneur that makes a lot of money, what you realize is I get income tax at the end of the year. They end up paying $15,000-$20,000 at the end of the year, because they done made this money. They done made $140,000 last year, and out that $140,000, you need to go ahead and give Uncle Sam about 40,000 out of that, about 50,000 out of that. It's nasty work, nasty work. And let's really talk about this, because you know, and a prime example is I saw something yesterday. I got some clips in my DM of Salute the Zip with the drip. You know what I'm saying? Salute the Zippy, right? But he was talking about one of his homies in New York City that had received $17.8 million in a lawsuit settlement with New York City, with NYC, right? And Zip was talking about how he would have spent that money up, X, Y, and Z. All the different things he would have did with that $17 million. He talks about it. But one thing he did not speak of, and this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. One thing Zip did not understand is that your homie didn't get $17.8 million. New York City has some of the highest taxes in the country, federal and state. So your homie probably only walked away with about 7 million, 6.8 million. He didn't even walk away with double digits after New York and Uncle Sam took they cut out that money. So he said he was going to spend the whole 17 million, not even having the gumption or not even understanding that New York going to take all of that. Yeah. New York is going to take, hey, bro, New York is going to take out of that 17 million. New York is going to take 11.8. You get the rest. You get 6 million and some change. Nasty work. And salute to Zip. This ain't no disrespect to Zip, but it was just a prime example of what I mean when I say you work for Uncle Sam. Elon Musk, he working for Uncle Sam. Everybody already has a boss. You've been checkmated already. So don't let nobody, even a Dame Dash, sit in front of you and make you feel, less than because you work for a corporation or you work a job. Now, let's really get into this because it's always a way around the situation. It's always an option. It's always a way out. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine recently about the way out in America. The way out of all of this, what we talking about, is criminal activity. Are we talking now? Criminal activity. We paying Uncle Sam and you working for a corporation or you got an LLC and you running a business and X, Y, and Z. Well, those situations you gotta pay Uncle Sam. In those situations, you got a boss. But when you indulge in criminal activity, now you cut Uncle Sam out. You think they send you to jail for selling drugs? Why you think they send you to jail for selling guns? Why you think they send you to jail for prostitution? Why you think they send you to jail for all these illegal activities? You think it's because they care about the community? You think they because they don't want to harm your community? Nah, they send you to jail because these illegal activities cannot be taxed. And Uncle Sam can't seem to get his money out those illegal activities. That's why. So, prime example, marijuana, cannabis. You see, now you don't go to jail for selling cannabis. You know why? Because they figured out how to get money. Uncle Sam figured out how to get money out of cannabis. So now everybody can smoke cannabis, everybody can get high. It's all good. Now it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you come over here because it might sound crazy to you what I'm saying about criminal activity. It might sound wild to you, but you got to understand something. Every culture in America, every nationality in America, every race of people in America that have wealth, that have community, that have generational wealth, that have culture, started off with criminal activity. Oh yeah, the Italians, they started off in criminal activity. The Asians with the Asian mafia and X, Y, and Z, they started off in criminal activity. Yeah. The Kennedys, they started off in criminal activity. Salute to Zip, because he was talking about how the Kennedys, how their grandfather used to move liquor around, how he was a bootleg, he used to bootleg liquor from Canada all the way to New York. And next thing you know, his grandkids is presidents and congressmen. Yeah. See, the criminal activity is what they don't tell you. They shun you because if everybody indulged in it, then everybody would have a piece of the American pie. Donald Trump, his grandfather, yeah, they all indulged and engaged in criminal activity. They took that drug money, that street money, that dope money, and they bought a piece of the American pie. You can't get a piece of the American pie, you know, by working a 9 to 5. Yeah, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, homie. You see where I'm at. I'm crossing state lines at all times. I got a career in trucking. This is not considered a 9 to 5, but I got a career in trucking, right? And then you see all these people out here that own businesses. Think about how many people you talk to every day that own their own business. I got to make sure I do that. All the people on Instagram that own their own business. Why you think the government don't mind what you doing? Because at the end of the year, you're gonna pay Uncle Sam. Oh, oh, at the end of the year, you're gonna pay that tax. But let's talk about the dope dealers. Let's talk about the drug dealers. Let's talk about the gun hustlers, the smugglers. Let's talk about the pimps and the hoes. Let's talk about all that they make you think is wrong to do. They make you think it's nasty work. But then they sell you Pornhub for free, right? They don't want you pimping and hoeing, but they got Pornhub for everybody to tap into. But they don't want you to be a pimp and they don't want you to be a hoe. They don't want you selling drugs, but they give us sugar and salt and all of these different drugs and prescription drugs and cannabis and alcohol and cigarettes and oh, they got their hands deep in the drug game, but you a drug dealer and that's a problem. The dark side is the only way to get a piece of the American pie. Because when you go to the dark side, you cut out the middleman. You cut out Uncle Sam. You cut out the government. Easy. Easy, grown man business. Easy. You go ahead. Get them likes up, man. Tap the screen, homie. What it do to the chat? You already know I'm ripping and running, so I can't really indulge in the chat. But yeah, y'all have conversation in the chat. Y'all go back and forth with each other in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. The Italians, they had the mob. They used that dope money, that extortion money, that union money, and they sent all their kids to college, and they put their kids in Congress, and they put their kids and made them turn to lawyers, and made them turn to doctors, and made them turn to scientists. And guess what? For all the little kids, for all the little mob kids, and little Italian kids that didn't really know what they wanted to do, they wanted to crash out. They didn't want to go to school. They put them in the police department. And next thing you know, the whole NYPD is being ran by young Italian kids. All off of drug money. All off of untaxed illegal money. That's what they did with that. Now they influencing the elections. Now they influencing the local elections. And now they influence the local government. And they got their hands all in the, yeah, all in the police department, right? Asian community. They come over here, they get funding from the government, they create Chinatown. Now, when you go to Chinatown, it's a lot of underworld gangs, a lot of underworld gambling, and a lot of underworld prostitution. Oh, it's all going down in Chinatown. Oh, it's all going down in Chinatown. And they take that prostitution money and they put their kids through college and they buy up more land and they buy up more property and they get it popping in America. The only way to beat the system, the only way to become your own boss is literally the dark side, the underworld. Now let's talk about black people. Let's talk about our people, right? In the 80s, we had a lot of cocaine being pushed through the community. And then somehow, some way, we was taught and we learned how to convert that cocaine to crack, right? Now, in the late 80s, throughout the 90s, it was a extravaganza. It was a money machine. It was a gold rush of crack cocaine through the black community. But unlike the Italians, unlike the Asians, unlike all these other cultures, right? Black people didn't use their opportunity in the underworld to preserve the future. So let me give you an example, right? All that crack money, where everybody in New York City and all these other cities was selling crack at, there were abandoned buildings all around everybody that was worth that cost maybe $1,000 or $500 or $200 per building per brownstone. And these drug dealers didn't buy any of that property. They didn't buy any of the brownstones. They didn't buy up the neighborhood. All they did was buy jewelry, cars, you know the Outpost story. They had a bunch of cars, but they didn't own none. none of the buildings that they was hustling in front of. They was buying cars and Gucci and Dapper Dan, but they wasn't buying nothing. They wasn't putting no kids through college. They wasn't telling the youngsters to go be police officers. They wasn't doing none of that. So when the crack era was over, all you had was a lot of destruction. But that was really our opportunity to take it to the next level, because all cultures on American soil, even the American, even America as a whole, they came to America. They didn't side with the Indians and the black Indians. They killed everybody. They started smoking you for your land, robbing you out of your land. America is built. It's built on a dirty game. It's built on the underworld. The American dream is only obtainable by by doing exactly what Americans did when they came to this land. Well, what Europeans did when they came to this land. So the whole boss mentality is an illusion. Brother man, listen to me, man. You are not a boss if you got to pay Uncle Sam before you pay yourself. You are not a boss if at the end of the year you owe money to somebody. See, again, the underworld teaches you a lot. And for me, entrepreneurship, my first encounter with entrepreneurship was 28 grams in a Ziploc bag. 28 grams of cannabis in a Ziploc bag. And what you understand is, when you dealing in the underworld, that's where you learn all the tricks of the trade at. That's where you learn what this whole country is ran off of. So what we are all doing on this land right now is called consignment. It's called consignment. That's when somebody fronts you an ounce of weed and tell you, hey, in 2 weeks or next week, you bring me back X, Y, and Z. You take that ounce of weed, you break it down, you go out and you happy, and you hustling. You hustling now. You got a whole zip and you hustling. It's bagged up. You did the work. You bagged it up, cut it up. Now you on the block, you ripping and running all through VA, all through Norfolk, all through Bad News, all through Hampton, and you sell that ounce. And you sell that ounce and you come back with about $280 cash money. And then next week, you take $100, $150 back to homie who gave you that money. And then he give you some more work. You go sell it and you bring that money back. You go sell it and you bring that money back. That's what everybody's doing. Right now, you got a business. Okay, go sell your shirts. Go sell your hats. Go sell your merchandise. But at the end of the year, around tax season, you might want to come up with $4, $5, $6, $7,000 to put in my pocket, little homie, or we gonna take your ass to jail. You gonna have a problem with my gang, and the gang is called the IRS. Huh? You don't bring Uncle Sam that money and make sure Uncle Sam pockets is nice and neat, then we gonna send the IRS at you, and they gonna handle you. I don't even want to talk to you. Okay, well, go to work. You work for a corporation. Make sure they taking them taxes out your check before you get that check. So you know what? At the end of the year, me and you, we ain't even gotta talk. Matter of fact, you did so good this year. I'm gonna give you a couple $1,000 around tax season. Put it in your pocket, make you feel good. Now I done got about 80,000 off you, but I'm gonna go ahead and send you about 2,000. Put that in your pocket. You spend that up with your family. The point is, you getting fucked either way. Woo. You getting banned. Listen. I know you don't want to hear this, but they bambardering yo. It's Africa bambada either way. If you a boss or if you an employee, it's Africa bambada style. Pause. You know what I mean? This guy bet it was Africa Bambaataa. If you a boss in America or you a worker in America, it's Africa Bambaataa either way. Now, how do you get rid of Africa Bambaataa? How do you stop Africa Bambaataa from bambottering and bothering the bambottering your ass? How do you get Africa Bambaataa off your back? I told you, the underworld. The only way to get Africa Bambaataa off your back, right, is to cut the middleman out. The underworld. That is the American dream. That's why it is so appealing to us to want to sell drugs or sell something illegal or X, Y, and Z, because that's the closest form of boss mentality you're going to ever have on this land. That's it. I know it sounds crazy because it's the total opposite of what they teach you every day. It's the total opposite of what we've been brainwashed to believe. We've been brainwashed to look at drug dealers as enemies. We've been brainwashed that look at boosters and anybody that go against the grain as enemies. The whole time when they sell you cigarettes, yeah, that's a drug dealer. When they send you to Walgreens to get that prescription drug, that's a drug. You've made a drug transaction. That's a drug dealer for you, huh? When you go buy that cannabis from that dispensary, that's a drug transaction. So as long as they able to do it, they all right with it because that's where the money is at. Back in the day, they was bootlegging alcohol, prohibition, all of that, bathtub gin and all of that. Al Capone made like almost $1 billion off of it. See, in the grand scheme of things, you got to ask yourself and you got to understand why they don't send you to jail for working a 9 to 5. Why they don't send you to jail for starting a business? Because they got their hands in the pot. But when I go and I get that half pound of that good green, that lobster and shrimp we used to have back in the day, that Acapulco, that hydro, yeah, it was good hydro and purple haze when I was coming up. We didn't have Zaza. Oh, you get a sack of that. You get a sack of that sour diesel. Ooh-wee. Sour diesel was the best shit you could get. Sour diesel. And you bust that sour diesel down to 0.5s. 0.5, 0.6 for $20. Listen, they'll throw your ass in jail when you do that. You're making too much money. And I'm talking about it was a gold rush. It was a gold rush. Oh, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna just tell you something. When I did those 80, 90 days out there in Newport News, I was locked up with Mega Bill. Salute to my homie Mega. He left before me. And when I left, I was cool with a couple of dudes that was from Newport News. A guy named ATL. He had a big ass. He was like a big blood. I never knew his real name, but he was like a blood gang member. And he had a big 5-point star on his neck right here. And he was a sour diesel plug. And when I tell you I couldn't find that shit, I was going across that water. I couldn't find it in Norfolk. I would go, bro. When I got out, me and him, we stayed in contact for a little while. I wonder what happened to him. I think sometime I wonder if he's even still alive. But I would go and get a QP, a sour diesel from him. Come back to Norfolk, Virginia, bust that shit down to 0.6 for $20. 0.6, $20. And I killed them. Boy, they would have got their hands on me, their ass going to jail. You done made too much money, and you ain't paid Uncle Sam none of it. I was killing them. That shit was flying out the bag. I couldn't even hold it. I would call him back so fast. He was like, yo, man, what the fuck? The shit, I'm talking about all the way bust down. I was killing them. 0.6, 0.7, $20. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. This was, and I wasn't selling eighths. At this time, I didn't know what an eighth was. An eighth? What the hell is that? 3.5 for what? Hell nah. I selling 3.5. Like I said, I was busting them bitches down .6 for $20. I be goddamn, I give you an eighth for anything. I was heavy, but I learned through that this is the highest form of entrepreneurship. This is the highest form of being a boss, the underworld. Because at the end of the year, I never thought about paying tax. Who was I paying taxes to who? Hell no. Nah. You go start that LLC, you get to selling your merch and your product. You get on YouTube and you start making money because you monetize. The beautiful thing about YouTube now is they take the tax money out for you. This is a job. This don't make you a boss, homie. When I first started doing this content, when I first got monetized, my first couple of years of being monetized, YouTube wasn't taking YouTube wasn't taking the money out, the money, the tax money. So at the end of the year, trust me, it's a lot of YouTubers that got trapped because they was getting all this money on YouTube, and at the end of the year, they didn't have that money to pay that taxes to Uncle Sam and the IRS. Luckily for me, my first couple of years, I didn't make that much in YouTube. I didn't make that much. You feel me? So there was really no taxing. But now you getting some motion. YouTube take the money out. This is a job. YouTube is now considered a 9 to 5 if you're doing YouTube. Don't let them make you think that they are bought. No, you are a worker now for YouTube. For YouTube, you are now a worker. And when you get your check, before you get your YouTube check on the 21st, they take the taxes out for you. The illusion of being a boss has been sold to the American people, and y'all fell for it. Y'all ate it up to the point where you had Dame Dash, right? Criticizing and chastising DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God for working a job for 15 years, having a 15-year rapport with a company, having 15-year track record of your money coming in and going out. Some of the most important things you need on American soil. You need payment history. You need working history. You need tax history. You need all of that to play ball on American soil, and you will have somebody that's a so-called boss try to make you feel like less of a man because you working a job. Fast forward to present day, you got that same guy that was running his mouth owing New York City $8 to $10 million in taxes. So it looked like Uncle Sam was the boss the whole time, Dame Dash. That's what it looked like to me. Looked like Uncle Sam was in charge. Looked like Uncle Sam was running Rockefeller. Oh yeah, yeah. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now, I kind of want to go left, right? The downloads downloaded, and it just made me think about like Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, and the Rockefeller movement, and rock familiar. Like a lot of you youngsters wasn't around for this era, for TRL and BET and Rap City and Dipset and Rockefeller and Bad Boy. Y'all wasn't around for the golden era of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just so wild to me that Dame Dash and Jay-Z and Biggs Burke created what they created. And now they are so much enemies that you'll have Jay-Z worth $2.8 billion and your homie only need 8 million. Damn, son, like, yo, why? It's like Jay-Z could easily give Dame 50 million or 25 million and change his life, man. And it's nasty work, you know what I'm saying? And I just think like it's chess and not checkers. It's chess and it's not checkers. And You know, sometimes you gotta humble yourself, man. Sometimes you gotta really put your pride and your ego to the side. And I just believe that when Big sold Dame Reasonable Doubt, right? When Big sold Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt his share, if Dame would have sat down at the table and just really humbled himself and maybe apologized, or maybe, I don't know, man, whatever it would have took to get that money, Jay would have bought it because he's a billionaire. It's nasty work, man. It's nasty work. You know, everybody's playing for the higher ups and the elites. Everybody's working for the higher ups and the elites on this land. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's going to take a war. It's going to take a war. It's going to take total, destroy and rebuild to get this shit under right where it need to be at. I seen something on Instagram today that said in California, a bill just been approved to give migrants $150,000 for home loans. $150,000 to migrants so that they can buy property in America. So, I just understand that it's going to take a war. It's going to take real civil war, bro, to to get this under control. It's out of hand. There's no turning back right now. Where we at right with this? It's no turning back, yo. Where they got Kamala Harris dancing and jigging and popping it like it's hot. Got Megan Thee Stallion dancing, jigging, and popping like it's hot for y'all out there in Atlanta. Got the y'all. Come on, man. Got y'all out there brainwashed and bamboozled, and right in front of y'all face, giving these people 150. Yeah, in California, they just passed a bill to give migrants $150,000. So imagine you came over here, you and your brother and two of your sisters. So it's four of y'all, and y'all say we gonna live together. 150,000 times four. That's 600K. That's a $500,000. Imagine that's a $500,000 on me for four people. You know, I don't really see it no other way. It's gonna take a war. It's gonna take a civil war, bro. We at that point where it's gonna have to go up. It's gonna have to really turn up before when we see what's gonna happen. And in the mean between time, you got people out here that really believe that they bosses. Right? You are not a boss. You ever, yo, I you don't know how it feels at the end of the year to have to pay Uncle Sam. I know how that shit feel. Cause my old lady, like we got a family business. It is not fun, bro. It is not fun. Yo, la- last year we got an accountant. So the accountant is able to shave money and shave corners and cut corners. And I think we paid a little under about 10,000 in taxes. The year before that, the year before last, right? We paid like $18,000 in taxes, cash money too. It ain't like you get to pay monthly payments and shit like that. Nah, homie. You get a set date to pay, and that's it. You get a set day to pay, and that's it. And if you don't pay, then they charge ass interest, and the shit go. Man, come on, man. Like it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And once I got a taste of both sides of the fence, I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. I'm a drive these trucks. They can take the tax out, and we'll do it that way on my end. At the end of the year, I could get 3, 4, $5,000 back. I'm good with that. And it's nasty work, man. So that's the point of this live, man. Never let them gaslight you, man. Never let them lie to you. Never let them make you feel like, because you good up and you go to work and you clock in and you clock out, that you, yeah, don't let Instagram fool you. Don't let these clips and the narrative that they paint for you, don't let it fool you, man. They lying to y'all. It's all an agenda. They make sure that Bandman Kevo and all these dudes is on IG, and they make it look real good with all this jewelry and all these so-called houses that they supposed to. Half the time, man, that shit is all a makeup. It's nasty work, man. And you gonna have dudes like me that stand on it's gonna bring you the real, raw, true, and uncut. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I show you the big house with the pool in the backyard and all that, you know, I work hard for that. I work hard for my property. I work hard for all of that. But then I turn around and tell you that last year I paid like $9,000 in property tax. Like these, the illusion. I'm not gonna participate in painting the illusion. I truck and I'll go live right here from the truck to show you how I pay the cost to be the boss. I'm not gonna run around and act like it, nah, cause they ain't telling you the whole story. But see, one thing for sure, two things for certain, everything in the dark will come to the light. So just because they don't tell you the whole story, don't mean we not gonna get the whole story. And looking at Dame Dash in a position where all that money, all that fame and fortune, all of the crystal we saw, all of the jewelry, all of the Rockefeller chains, you owe $8 million to the real. See, when Jay-Z and Dame Dash were hustling in the streets, when they was making 100,000, 200,000, when they was getting those packs all across the water, when Jay-Z was a drug dealer, that's when he was really the boss. As soon as they converted from drug dealing to the record industry, to the music industry, now you have a boss. Now you a worker for the higher ups and the elites. You have now filled out an application. You have now become a worker. Nobody talks about that. Nobody wants to really bring that into the fruition. Nobody really wants to make that. When you became a rapper, when you became a so-called record label owner, you became a worker. When y'all was hustling bricks, stacking your money, reeing up, hustling more bricks, you was the boss. You could buy as many bricks as you wanted to. You could negotiate the price of those bricks. Then you could bring it to the street level and you can now charge what you want on those bricks. You get all the profit. You get to keep all the profit and you don't have to pay a tax to nobody. That makes you a boss. When you got to pay taxes, you are not a boss, homie. Whoever you pay taxes to is the boss. Whoever you paying taxes to is the boss. So back in the day when you had the king of whatever, right? The king would make the peasants and the regular people, he would make them pay taxes. If they paid with a cow or a lamb or whatever money, they paid a tax to the king. Now ask yourself, who do the king pay taxes to? Nobody. He's the boss. That's it. The king is the boss. He don't have to break his money down with nobody. That's why he's the king. So when you get up in the morning, man, and you get on Instagram and you see these so-called bosses, you see these rappers, you see Lil Baby, and you see all of these people that y'all admire, that y'all, you know, y'all worship, right? Keeping it in the back of your mind that they're not showing you the whole spectrum. They're not showing you the whole picture. They showing you the ice. They showing you Johnny Dang. They showing you the Maybachs and the mansions, but they not showing you what they paid Uncle Sam last year. property taxes. They ain't showing you on his big ass house. He didn't tell you he paid $40,000 to Uncle Sam last year. And if you own the property, why the fuck are you paying the property tax? It's an illusion. So do you really own your car? Because after you pay the car off, you still got to pay property taxes on the car. It's an illusion. Y'all only come here for the real, man. And in the thumbnail, you see that Pyrex full of that raw, pure, uncut. Yeah, straight off the brick into the bottles. That's the only reason why y'all tap in. That's the only reason why we at 23,000 subscribers right now, because of the raw, pure dope that I put on these YouTube streets. The dope is pure. I don't, you know, when it comes to this YouTube information, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. When it comes to the information, I'm the boss, homie. I put on the streets what I want. I don't have anybody controlling or muffling or stepping on any of this information. Salute to the chat, man. What it do? We cross the state lines at all times. Where we at? We in we in Georgia. Yeah, we in Georgia somewhere right now. I'm about 5.5 hours out, making my way, man. You know, headed down, back down to Florida. Going to drop a load off in Florida, pick up a load in Florida, right? Go back up north to Maryland, drop that load off in Maryland, head back down to Florida. You feel what I'm saying? Salute to the chat. Again, man, stand on your business. Stand on business. Listen, man, you know, I know one person, I know maybe two people that have created and grown successful, maybe three. I could say three people that have started businesses, grown those businesses until they are pretty decent sized businesses, and are still working those businesses to this day. Maybe about three people out of all of the business owners that I know and business bosses. I can say three of them. You know what I'm saying? My uncle Kip, he got a home improvement business out in VA. I remember when he started that shit, and he made a lot of money doing that, um, doing everything, putting pools in, all of that. So now he living pretty good off of that business. My uncle Tori out in Atlanta, he got one of the biggest nightclubs in Atlanta. Top two, top three biggest nightclubs in Atlanta. Sweet Lounge in Atlanta. That's my people. They own that. Downtown Atlanta, prime real estate. I'm talking multi-million-dollar real estate. Downtown Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And then the family business that we run. My old lady, that business. Um, you know, she started that when I met her, and it's still going to this day. To this day, it's still going. Um, but out of everybody, it's only three people like I could say that I seen and I know that have been running business. But you got to understand something. All three of these people pay Uncle Sam every year. They pay Uncle Sam every year. They don't own. They don't really own. We don't really own that. Because as soon as you don't pay Uncle Sam this year and you don't pay Uncle Sam next year, then Uncle Sam sends the IRS. He send his goons, he send his gang at you. And when he send his gang at you, you're going to get down and you're going to lay down. And if you lay down, you already know you're going to stay down. So I don't care what you do. I don't care how many tacos you sell. I don't care how many homes you improve on. I don't care. But at the end of the year, top of next year, first quarter, tax season, that's what we call it, tax season. You better have that money up. You better make sure the money is in my hand. Yeah, Uncle Sam said you better make sure the money is in my hand. Simple and plain. Make sure the money is in my hand, or yeah. So, when you look at a Dame Dash, the way he was talking to DJ Envy, and you already know the voice is more powerful than DJ Envy. The voice is more powerful than Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy playing butt tag every day on your radio in the morning, right? But the way Dame Dash was belittling DJ Envy for having a job is nasty work. I bet you DJ Envy don't owe no taxes. I bet you DJ Envy ain't got the IRS down his back, about to throw his ass in jail. Yeah. Charlamagne the God don't owe no taxes. You know why? Because they go to work every day. They go to the Breakfast Club every day. They go to work. They have a long work history, 15 years at the same job. That make you very valuable in American society, on American soil. 15, 20 years they've been working at the same radio station. 15, 20 years they've been having money going in their account every Friday. The taxes is taken out, and that's it. So don't never let these dudes make you feel like you less than a man, or you ain't no you ain't a boss, because you ain't not none you not a boss. Nobody's a boss unless you a part of the underworld. You know, you Frank Lucas. Yeah, Frank Lucas was going all the way to Asia, getting that pure Perico. He cut the middleman out. That make Frank Lucas the boss. And you see how much money Frank Lucas had, right? Because he didn't pay no taxes to Uncle Sam. You think Alpo was paying taxes to Uncle Sam? You think any of these big time drug dealers was paying taxes? You think Al Capone was paying taxes to Uncle Sam? You think Rick Ross was paying taxes to Uncle Sam, the real Rick Ross? Nah, nah. And see, like I said, I'm just one of the people that really know what I'm talking about when it comes to this, because I done played every aspect of it. I done been in the streets before. You know, I was working and doing this and doing that. I was outside. I was hustling. I was a real boss. I was a real entrepreneur. I was really going to find the best product, getting my hands on it, negotiating the price for the best product, taking that product back to Norfolk, busting that shit down. You know what I mean? Got my radio on, got my music going. I done went to the store. I done went and bought me a whole bunch of Ziploc bags and rubber bands and shit. Fixed up the product and took it straight to the street. I wrecked the consumer hand to hand. This is back before smartphones. It was hand to hand. And I also know what it means to work a job, to have a career in trucking, get paid every week. I know what that means too. And then I also know what it means for the LLC to be started, and the corporation, and the business account, the business banking account, and establishing business credit, and playing that game. And out of all three, the real boss, the only time the real time and only time it was real boss conversation is when I was hustling in those streets, when I was back and forth doing criminal activity, and there was no government, there was no Uncle Sam, there was no IRS, there was nobody to answer to. Once I started driving trucks, now I got somebody to answer to. When I worked on the Navy Yard, now I got somebody to answer to every year. I got to pay them. Uncle Sam, I got to pay the union. I got to pay this. I got to pay federal taxes. I got to pay state taxes. I got to pay for Medicare. What the fuck is Medicare? Social Security. We put all this money in Social Security just to give it to immigrants that come over the fucking border who have not even worked on American soil for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's a Ponzi scheme they got us in. And then you had these dudes talking about, yo, I'm a boss. Man, shut your silly ass up. You ain't no boss, nigga. How much you pay Uncle Sam last year? Oh man, well I had to. Yeah, shut your silly ass up then. Don't talk that bullshit to me, cause I know what a boss really is. When you get to wake up in the morning, when you go to go get the money you want to. Man, I was hustling. I might get a call at 3 in the morning. Yo, GMB, you up, man? Nah, I'm asleep. Yo, man, my bad for calling you so late, but we just left the club, man, and X, Y, and Z. Look, I got 400 for you. You trying to come? Hell, all right. Look, where you at? Oh man, I'm X, Y, and Z. Okay, meet me here. All right, that's 400. I get up on my bed and go grab that. Spark the clip that I had in the ashtray. Get right real fast. Hop in the whip. Go get that 450. Come back to the house. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you can control what you want and how you want it, and then you don't have to. I didn't have to say, okay, let me take 225. Let me take 250 out of this money to pay Uncle Sam with, because I got to pay taxes on this money. So instead of me getting $450, I'm only gonna get $200 because I got to give Uncle Sam $250. If you got to do that, you're not the boss. Uncle Sam is the boss. Yeah, I'm talking about, bruh. I ran across a sour diesel plug in Newport News when I got out of jail out there, and for about a year and a half, man, I was killing them. I don't know what happened to ATL. He probably got. I don't want to say that, but hopefully he didn't. But the way he was moving, I wouldn't be surprised if he went to jail for a long time or something happened to him, because he was like, that nigga was like the man. You know what I'm saying? He was like the man. That nigga used to be. He was the man. He used to have trash bags full of different flavors, and that sour diesel hadn't hit Norfolk yet. Like it wasn't in Norfolk yet. And I had that shit, and I had a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time in my life where I could say I fully was that I was the boss of this shit. I was fully the boss. Salute to the chat, man. Yeah, we ripping and running. We crossing state lines at all times. Um, Dame Dash, he owes New York State. And like I said too, right? I wanted to kind of elaborate on that again. When I heard Zip, and salute to Zip, you know what I mean? Salute to Zip with the drip, but he was talking about his homie getting 17 million. In New York, homie, you not get if you get 17.8 million, you're gonna walk away with about 6 million. You're not gonna wait. They took all of that shit. Your homie ain't even have 10 million when they got done with him. Trust me. That's why he probably ain't give you no money. Cause you don't understand taxes. You think your man got 17.8 million and he just get the wrong walk off and spend it. But the one thing you didn't say nothing about, Lil Zippy, is taxes, homie. Oh, New York is terrible. Why do you think 50 Cent went all the way down to Shreveport, Louisiana when he bought that property? Because the taxes on that shit is nasty work. It's nasty. So the majority of these dudes don't even know or understand fully. They, New York is the worst. New York and California is the worst when it comes to taxes in the country. I'm overshooting it. Homie probably walked away with 5 million, $4.8 million after they took all the taxes, state tax, property tax, goddamn leisure this and leisure that, and whatever, all the different taxes they took from your homie. After he got that $17.8 million, he probably had about 4.5. Straight up. That's straight up. You might as well get shit is crazy. They don't like shit. Uncle Sam in New York, that nigga worse than the mob. He worse than the union. Uncle Sam in New York City is worse than the mob. The Gambino family. He's worse. He's 100 times worse. It's nasty work, homie. Absolutely foul play. Yeah. So Zip was talking about how he would spent that money up, and the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, you don't even understand. Uncle Sam done took advantage of. He done raped your homie pocket so bad, he not gonna give your ass no money. 5,000, no money, no thousands. And after Uncle Sam do what he do to your pockets, you ain't giving nobody nothing. Yeah, shit, hell no, nigga. Get 50,000 for what the hell? You know how much money I just paid in taxes? Giving your ass that. You could be on YouTube talking about, man, somebody donate to the channel, man. Nigga, you know how much money we done pay Uncle Sam? We not giving you nothing. We're not giving you a goddamn thing. We're not donating nothing to the channel. You know how much Uncle Sam done took from everybody? Go to the chat, man. It is gonna be hard. I'm just saying, bro. That shit is it's crazy. It's nasty work. You're not gonna spend 17.8 million because you're not even gonna get 17.8 million. Your motherfucking ass gonna get 3.2 million dollars after they take all air all. They motherfucker took 14 million dollars from your from taxes, back taxes, federal taxes, state taxes, Medicare, everything. Sanitation. Y'all pay for a lot of shit in New York. Sanitation. This shit gonna rip your shit out there. The union, they all gonna take some money from you. Yeah, the trap don't close, man. That's the only time from a 40-year-old man, I'm telling you, that's the only time I was fully a boss in this that I felt like I was fully a boss as far as the income. Because man, I could do 4 or 5K in a week between Monday and Friday. I could re-up Saturday, Sunday, and do it all again next week. It was like a golden era. It was really like I had like a couple apartments I was paying. I had a 929 Mazda 929. I had a Mazda 626. I had a Volvo. I had a Honda Accord. A bunch of cars and shit I was driving around in. Make me smile when I think about them days, boy. Taxes. What taxes you talking? Nigga pay who? Uncle Sam. Nigga, fuck Uncle Sam. I ain't paying him a guy. That's how we was moving. Cause we didn't pay no that. This shit was off the books. You don't know how much I'd have paid Uncle Sam? $0. Nigga, I didn't make no money last year. Cause it ain't no money was on the books. Straight up. So man, we not gonna stay long, man. We 72 minutes in. I just wanted to tap in with y'all, lock in with the people. We cross the state lines at all times. I'm definitely going live again later tonight. Maybe in a few hours, probably about like 6 or 7 o'clock, I'm gonna go live again. And we're gonna chop game up, man. Big salute to the chat, big salute Wisdom B. I see you in there. Driving, I can't really see the chat, but when it comes to a big wrench, I can kind of see big wrenches from far away. Salute to Wisdom B. I see you in the chat. So listen, man, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Grown Man Business TV. You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is, man. It's straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off that brick into them bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. I mean, we ain't sugarcoat nothing and we ain't dressing nothing up. Giving you this game straight raw, my G's. Never let them make you feel like less than a man for having a job, actually. You winning in a lot of ways for having a job. Running a business is not all it's cracked up to be. Majority of these business owners ain't made 500,000 off their business. They ain't gonna make $1 million off their business. The higher ups and the elites know that. They know that it's a very small percent of y'all that's gonna actually make good money off your business. The majority of y'all are not going to make good money off your business. And then a little bit of money you do make, your ass better pay taxes. You better get that tax money right. Trooper69, what it do? I see you in the chat, my G. Big wrenches. Never let them make you feel less than a man or unaccomplished because you work a 9 to 5. The whole time, they're not telling you that it's stressful running a business. The whole time, they're not exposing to you the money that they had to pay Uncle Sam for running that business. The whole time, they not telling you you can end up like Dame Dash owing $10 million to the state of New York City in the biggest gang in the world, in the biggest boss in the world, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is your boss. He my boss. On this American soil, he's the boss of all. You ever heard somebody tell y'all that? It hurt for me to say it. I don't like to say it. Like I said, I wish I could go back to the golden era where I was getting pounds of that haze and that sour diesel, and I was working them VA streets, Norfolk, Virginia. I was all over. I was everywhere. Cheesetown, Virginia Beach, Hampton, Newport News, Portsmouth, Suffolk. I was everywhere. Because at that present time, I would have told you, fuck Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam who? Uncle Sam who, nigga? Just did $10,000, nigga. I ain't sharing it with nobody. But now I gotta tell you, and I gotta tell you the truth, you know. Uncle Sam is the boss of all bosses. I don't give a fuck who it is, Dame Dash, Jay-Z. I don't care who it is. Your boss, your company that you work for, the company that I work for, they all gotta pay Uncle Sam at the end of the day. Hurt me to my heart to say that. Mm, mm, mm. Make me wanna say fuck it and go back and get back to the pavement, but I can't do it. I got a family to raise. I got property taxes and I got a lot of shit to take care of, and I need my money on the books so that they don't come and try to take none of. See, we ain't the boss is Uncle Sam. Salute to Dame Dash, man. Hopefully you can get that together, that $8-10 million. Hopefully you can sell your share in Rockefeller, and I'm gonna send some positive energy your way, and I hope that you can get about 25 to 30 to 40 million for that share, so that you can pay your debt to society, so you can pay your debt to Uncle Sam, the boss of all bosses, and then you can take the change and you can figure something out. You can start a business where you're gonna continue to pay Uncle Sam when you start that business. Duskin clothing and all that weird shit you be naming, Dusko. I don't think that's it, Dame Dad. I never liked that name Dusko. I don't know where you got that from, but you need to change, you need to reevaluate your, that's nasty. Nasty. Dusko, anything. Just get rid of the name Dusko and start you another business, make millions of dollars. And out of those millions of dollars, you better make sure you pay Uncle Sam this time. We ain't going to want to hear no crying. Yeah, better make sure you learn to pay Uncle Sam the way you need to pay Uncle Sam. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Gang.